Hi everyone, Victoria Waco, Mrs. New York American 2024, and I was just settling into my home office for the day to start work, and I realized I'm getting some questions about like how did you prep for interview, and I thought I would show you some of the things that I did kind of pretty much daily to get ready for interview. A couple of things. I worked with a coach. I think having another person to give you feedback is really, really important. I love my coach. I talk about her a lot. So, um, yeah, I just adore her to the moon and back, and we worked really well together. Also, for me personally, interview is one, my favorite part. Two, probably the part that I worry the least about, because it's having a conversation with other human beings and telling the things that you love and are passionate about. So for me, it's never been, I feel like it's just an area that I love and I really enjoy doing. But with that, there's things to help. One of the things I would do is I actually had this in my purse at all times. And what it is, it's just like I forget what you call it, but like a ring. And it had interview questions on it. So if I was sitting at an appointment before it started, if I was, something had a little extra time, I was waiting on my car, like you have those like dead spaces during the day. I would just get this out and look and just look through it and think of how would I answer that? How, where I would tie it into my platform, where would I tie it into personal themes, da 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 da. And this, like, I won't say out loud, but it just got my brain thinking about that. Like, how do you build connections between what they ask you and what you want to say? Along with that, I always had a really solid morning routine of things that I like to do every morning, and I incorporated some pageant stuff into that to help. One of them is I also had this box of questions. I haven't opened it since Mrs. American, so it's been a while. But it has like 100 questions, and I just took a list. I put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and then I actually just mail merged them into a Word document and printed them all out. I printed them out on cardstock just so they were a little bit more durable. But I would just go in each morning and just pick out a random question as part of my morning routine and answer it. So if you had 30 minutes a day to do anything you wanted, what would you do and why? So like that would be today's question. And I'll give you an example. So for me, I would use that time to really connect with my husband. I am such a busy professional. I work in nonprofit full time. I do so much in the community between the Boys and Girls Club and my leadership position with the Junior League of Syracuse that for me, I just recognize the need and the importance of quality time with me and my husband to connect as a way to keep our marriage strong. I'm so blessed to have a husband who always supports everything I do and lets me run off and do all these things in the community. But if I had an extra 30 minutes, I just love to spend it with him, connecting and strengthening that bond between us. See? Okay. So this, I would pick out one each morning as part of like my quiet morning time and answer it. And I usually would answer it out loud as a way to start hearing my voice. Also recording it would be good too. The other thing, and this is just like a personal thing, I'll give you a couple examples, but I'm a big just like taking a few minutes or in the morning to just kind of set myself up. This was one I was working through right before Mrs. World. It's 100 Days to Brave. It's just, it has scripture in it and stuff. So if that's not your thing, totally understand. But I really loved this one. There's also one that's actually from a former Miss USA. That is a 90-day one. I've done that. Hers actually had a journal with it. I journaled through that. This is another one I like. And this is just like wisdom and kind of like more just secular, but it's also really, really good. And I think it has great tie-ins. So that's something else I do every morning, but something you can easily add, like I said, a good way of just centering yourself each day on this journey that can be so crazy and so hard and so much going on to just be like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. Let's refocus. Let's get some inspiration. Let's keep, fueling myself to keep going. The other thing I did, and this is something I started years ago, I had a coach who said this once and it stuck with me, which is to learn one new word every day. So I have an Echo Dot. I legitimately in the morning ask for news highlights from it. And then I also ask for an SAT word of the day. And they would give me a word and a definition, and I would say it a couple times, think about how I would use it in a sentence. And that's not to like, trying to get it into things. It's just the more, like, as your brain is learning more knowledge, it's just like a sponge and it will soak up everything around you. And for me, it was just a way to keep my mind sharp again, also to just keep learning and keep educating myself. And sometimes those words do slip into conversation, and that's totally fine. I don't like force myself to do that, but it's just another way again to just keep your mind learning and growing. That's why I read so much. I think that's just such a great part of the pageant journey is you're learning and growing as a person. So how do you think about this as a self-development course for yourself, that you are self-guiding and figure out the focus areas you want to focus on. And for me, this is some of the stuff I did. Like I said, I can see how it tied directly into interview prep, but I would also say it tied into just general, like, grounding myself and preparing myself for pageant weekend, and then for the 11 days at Mrs. American. All right, hope that was helpful. If you want I think I have this as a PDF now, the document that I made these from. I'm happy to share it. Message me and I'll try to find it on my computer. But and you can use the same thing for these. But yeah, have a great day. And again, me and the fellow queens are here. If you need anything, happy to help any way we can. So hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to y'all soon.